Hi, I'm Chris Gasper, and this is Globe 10.0, joined today by Chad Finn. Well, we certainly know that the Red Sox are looking towards the future and towards 2013. The question is, does that future include David Ortiz? And if it does, is it on more than a one-year deal? Ortiz has had a tremendous year this year, 318, 23 home runs, 60 RBI in 90 games, even though he has been slowed down of late by an Achilles injury. Chad, in your mind, is David Ortiz a guy that should be on this team next year? And if so, should it be for more than just next year? Should they lock this guy up for 2 years?
I think they will. I'm skeptical that they should because this injury, it's kind of foreshadowing, I think, what's ahead for him. That's kind of an older player injury where you suffer it, it affects you, you think you're over it, and it flares up again as soon as you come back. I think his history, his future is that he's going to battle a few more injuries than he has recently, just based on his age. I do think they'll bring him back because they need him. He's still a very productive hitter. And I don't think they'll do it on a one-year deal because they want him to be happy.
Yeah, I agree with you on all fronts, really. I think they will bring him back. I think they need him. As much as we talked about, it shouldn't be about the business side. Look, on some level, it sort of is. He's the face of the franchise. I think it would be really tough for them to let him go. He has that market value for them. And also, as you hit on, just his value as a player. I mean, he's been their most productive middle-of-the-order bat, especially when he's been healthy. And when he came off the DL, boom, right away, drove in some runs, second pitch he saw. So I think he's a bat you need to anchor the middle of that lineup. You certainly have to be concerned about the heel. The one thing I would say is I think the fact he is a DH and that he's not in the field, maybe there's ways you can manage that. It's usually an injury where you just need to rest it. He hasn't. The 35 games obviously was not long enough. I think they bring him back. And the thing I also think about bringing him back too is even if you bring him back, let's say it's $15 million a year or 15.5, it's not so bad because it's only a 2-year commitment. I think where the Red Sox got in trouble with guys in the past wasn't necessarily the per-year value of the contract. It was in giving out 7-year deals to Gonzalez and Crawford.
Yeah, absolutely. It isn't that long-term commitment. And I know the Red Sox aren't going to be sentimental or nostalgic about that, and they shouldn't be. But Ortiz is a guy who, for all the production that he's had and all he's done for the Red Sox, never really had that big deal. You can understand his frustration with seeing what Carl Crawford got, and Ortiz sort of mentioned that in a backhanded way earlier this year.
He would never bring that up.
It may be an issue with him if Ellsbury ends up getting that kind of deal. But the Red Sox need the hitter that David Ortiz has been this year. I think you take the risk with the injuries, and even if you're doing it for 2 years, bring him back because there aren't going to be a lot of better options.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's many better options for the Red Sox than David Ortiz.